false?
True. I think it's false.
Oh, we have different answers. So true or false? Margaret, you said false?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think it's false? It sounds...
I don't know. I don't think of Tom Cruise as Aladdin, so no.
Okay, so this one is actually true. And the funny thing is that I thought the same. When I was looking for interesting facts about him, I came across this one, and I was like, isn't Aladdin way older than him? But actually, the first movie of Aladdin was released in 1992, and he was already 30 years old. So it's actually true. They used some features like the hairstyle and yes, so that was true. Now for the second one, he was supposed to play Captain America, but he declined the job. Could it be true? True, false? What do you think? Any ideas?
True.
True?
I think it's false.
Okay, we have different answers. This one is actually false, but he was supposed to play Iron Man. So instead of Captain America, he was supposed to play Iron Man, but he declined the job. So that's interesting, because I can't imagine Tom Cruise as Iron Man. I mean Iron Man for me will always be Robert Downey Jr. So interesting one. Now the third one, he can hold his breath underwater for more than 6 minutes. True or false? Any ideas? True. Okay. That is actually true. So he did that in Mission Impossible. So that's kind of his talent. That's a lot of time underwater. Now, number 4, he could not read until he was an adult. True or false? This one is tricky.
True.
True? Yes. Actually, this one is true. But I mean, he could read, but he has dyslexia. So it was kind of difficult for him to read. But he studied and worked on it. So he overcome the dyslexia. Great. So next one. He has an Oscar for Best Actor. True or false? True? This one is actually false. He has never won any Oscars. So it's interesting because he has been in the industry for a long time, but he has never been awarded with the Oscar. Next one. He can play guitar.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Sorry? Javiera?
So Tom Cruise is the new Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, actually, yes. Until maybe the next Oscars. I don't know if he has been in any movie lately. Maybe, but I don't think so. So maybe he won't win any Oscar anytime soon. Hopefully he does, but we don't really know. Now for the next one, he can play guitar, piano, violin, and bass. Any ideas?
False.
Yes, that's false. He plays the guitar, but not all those instruments. So kind of, no, it wasn't real. Next one, he has a pilot's license. True or false?
True.
Yes, that's actually true. Do you remember the movie Top Gun? He acted there. I think it's like one of his biggest roles. And he said that he got really into piloting, so he got his license after that. Now, number 8, he's a fencer in his spare time. Do you know what a fencer is? Any ideas?
No.
No? Okay, so fencer in it's a sport in which you use long sticks and you need to touch the other person. So in Spanish it would be esgrima. So the word for esgrima in English would be fencer or fence, and the person who plays that sport would be a fencer. So what do you think? Is he a fencer? Is it clear what a fencer is? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, great.
Yes,
What's
me
Is
his?
that
either.
true?
Yes, that's actually true. He is a fencer in his spare time. That's interesting. Now, number 9. He has 4 kids. True, false.
False.
False? Yes, that's false. He has only one daughter and she's called Suri. Yes, only one daughter. I think he has been married twice or maybe 3 times. I'm not sure, but yes. So only one daughter. And the last one, he used to be a professional singer. Any ideas? True, false?
False.
Yes, that's false. That's false. He was really good at sports and acting, but his profession is acting. So well done. Thank you for participating. Now let's move into the objectives. So for today's class, we have 2 main objectives. The first one would be that you are able to identify and differentiate between tone, tonality, and tonicity. And the second one is that you are able to apply them in different contexts and to use them. Now, the agenda for today is that we will do a short recap on the 3 T's. Then we will practice. Then we will have a 10-minute break and continue practicing. So a lot of practice today, so I hope you stay. Now, this is a really short recap of the 3 T's. So tonalities, it says here, the division of the spoken material into meaningful chunks. So basically, tonality is when we divide or segment the speech into meaningful parts or chunks. Next, we have tonicity. So in order to find tonicity, it's easier first to find tonality. In tonicity, we can find all those components that we have reviewed before that are the prehead, the head, the nucleus, and the tail. We will review all of them in a couple of minutes. But the use of tonicity is that the speakers use this to highlight some words that are important for the meaning that they wish to convey, as it says there. And lastly, when we are already done with deciding the tonicity, we can move into the tone part. And the tone is the pitch movement that we put into the sentences or the phrases that we are trying to say, or the IPs. Now, as we said before, there are mainly 3 types of tone. We have the rise, the fall, and the fall rise. But today we will go a little bit in depth, with the fall rise and the differences with the rise fall, so you can identify them clearer. Now, any questions before we move into tonality? No? Is it clear? Okay, let's move into tonality. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand. I'm paying attention to Teams as well, so you can do it. Okay. As we mentioned, tonality is the system that divides spoken discourse into smaller units, right? So we use tonality to divide a speech, or to when someone is speaking, we can use tonality to understand where the speaker make the pauses. So in order to make themselves understood, speakers organize the flow of the speech into smaller, meaningful chunks called intonation phrases. Those intonation phrases can also be named word groups, tone units, or intonation units. Now, it is important to remember that each tone unit contains one piece of information. Okay, so here we have an example, and I will ask Gonzalo, are you there? Gonzalo Cancino?
Yes.
Yes, would you mind, thank you, would you mind reading this sentence?
Yeah. Okay.
Try to make the pauses. Yes. Go
I
on.
like kiwi. Sorry.
Go on, go on.
Okay. I like kiwi, but watermelon is my favorite fruit.
Okay, so as I could understand, I don't know if I'm correct, I would say that there was a small pause there. So the first IP, I would say it was I like kiwi. Then he said, but watermelon is my favorite fruit. And that sounded like a whole other IP. So this depends on the way the speaker speaks, because I could say I like kiwi, but watermelon is my favorite fruit. So I could make another pause here. This is why it is important to pay attention to the way that the speaker speaks, because it will depend on them in the way that we will divide those word groups or tone units. Now, is it clear before we move into a short practice? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes? Thank you, Javiera. Okay, so you will have a script. First, we will watch a video. It's the same activity as we did the other class last week with the Shrek audio. Now we will listen to a speech from Malala. I don't know if you know, but she won the Nobel Peace Prize. So we will listen to, first we will watch the video, and then I will give you the script. So I will play the recording, and you will try to you will have to chunk the speech of Malala. Okay? So let's move into the next slide. Okay. Let's hope it works.
I'm proud, well, in fact, I'm very proud to be the first Pashtun, the first Pakistani, and the youngest person to receive this award. Along with that, I'm pretty certain that I'm also the first recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize who still fights with her younger brothers. I want there to be peace everywhere, but my brothers and I are still working on that. I'm also honored to receive this award together with Kailash Satyarthi, who has been a champion for children's rights for a long time, twice as long, in fact, than I have been alive. I'm proud that we can work together. We can work together and show the world that an Indian and a Pakistani, they can work together and achieve their goals of children's rights. I'm proud.
Okay, were you able to listen? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. So here you have the speech. And as you can see, you don't have any punctuation, because if I were to put punctuation there, it would be way easier for you to spot and to identify where tonality happens. But now I will play this recording again, and you will have to tell me where tonicity happens. Okay, so we can listen to it once or twice depending on how you're doing, but this will be the first time, so pay attention.
I'm proud, well, in fact, I'm very proud to be the first Pashtun, the first Pakistani, and the youngest person to receive this award. Along with that, I'm pretty certain that I'm also the first recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize who still fights with her younger brothers. I want there to be peace everywhere, but my brothers and I are still working on that. I'm also honored to receive this award together with Kailash Satyarthi, who has been a champion for children's rights for a long time, twice as long, in fact, than I have been alive. I'm proud that we can work together. We can work together and show the world that an Indian and a Pakistani, they can work together and achieve their goals of children's rights. I'm proud.
Okay. Can you tell me, were you able to segment the speech, or do you need to listen to it again?
Could you play it one more time?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
I know it's not really easy to do it at the first time, so that's fine. Okay. Here we go.
I'm proud, well, in fact, I'm very proud to be the first Pashtun, the first Pakistani, and the youngest person to receive this award. Along with that, I'm pretty certain Peace Prize who still fights with her younger brothers. I want there to be peace everywhere, but my brothers and I are still working on that. I'm also honored to receive this award together with Kailash Satyarthi, who has been a champion for children's rights for a long time, twice as long, in fact, than I have been alive. I'm proud that we can work together. We can work together and show the world that an Indian and a Pakistani, they can work together and achieve their goals of children's rights.
Okay. Is it okay now? Do you need it one more time? What do you think?
The part between Sultan and brothers, it's shopping net audio.
Oh, really?
It, yes, for me, yes, but I don't know for another person.
Was it like that for all of you? Did you have trouble listening to it?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, okay. So let's try to play it again. And if it doesn't work, we will do it together. But we will have another activity like this in the second half of the class. So if it still doesn't work, I will send you the link so you can watch it on your own. But let's listen to it again.
I'm proud, well, in fact, I'm very proud to be the first Pashtun, the first Pakistani, and the youngest person to receive this award. Along with that, I'm pretty certain that I'm also the first recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize who still fights with her younger brothers. I want there to be peace everywhere, but my brothers and I are still working on that. I'm also honored to receive this award together with Kailash Satyarthi, who has been a champion for children's rights for a long time, twice as long, in fact, than I have been alive. I'm proud that we can work together. We can work together and show the world that an Indian and a Pakistani, they can work together and achieve their goals of children's rights.
Okay. Were you able to listen to it better, or do you have the still do you still have the same problem?
Songbird.
Sorry?
It was okay. I heard everything pretty fine. In my
Okay,
case.
thank you. Thank you. So let's do it together. Now, try to tell me, where do you think the chunking would be placed? And I will be drawing the lines, the chunks. So who would like to go first? Any volunteers? Remember that there is no wrong or right here, so anyone?
Fernanda wants to be the first one.
Okay,
I
Javier,
mean,
go
Camila.
on. Oh, Camila.
Oh, Camila. Camila wants to
The
to be the
first
first
Okay,
one.
was
Camila can go first, and then Javiera, if you would like.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's listen to Camila first, and then Javiera. Okay, Camila.
I put the first one after the I'm proud,
Great.
and
Yes.
well, and after in fact, I put another one.
After fact.
Yes.
Okay. Javiera, can you tell me? Can you continue?
Yes. After Pashtun
Okay. So here.
and after Pakistan.
Okay, can you continue, please?
After award.
Okay. What the next one? What did you have?
Along with.
Okay. Thank you.
But the
Thank you.
first along with.
Oh. Okay. So here.
Yes.
Right? Okay, great. Thank you. Who else? Fanny, would you like to continue? Are you there? Fanny?
Yes, let me go to my screenshot that I took.
Thank you.
Where are we? In which
So,
part?
we should be, I'm gonna rate the last one because it wasn't supposed to be there. Okay, so after, along with that, the first along with that. So after the line, the red line that we have in the screen, the last red line.
In that part, I didn't hear very well, but after I put into a younger brother, after younger brother.
Okay, so here, would it be there?
And yes, and after I want.
Here. Okay, could you continue until you finish the next sentence? I mean, the next line.
The peace everywhere, after everywhere.
Okay.
And but my brothers and I, after I.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, so the last one, thank you, Fanny. The last one would be at the very end because we have a stop, a full stop. Now, does anyone have the line, the two lines, I would say, or a line and a half after along with that? Does anyone have that?
Yes. Me.
Yes. Carla, would you mind telling me what you put? Yes.
Between price and who.
Okay. So here. Wait. Let me draw it. Here.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Great. Do you have anything before that in the previous sentence? I mean, in the previous line. Sorry.
In the last line, between working and on.
Where? Sorry. Could you tell me?
In the last line.
Last line. Okay. So between working and on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. So in Thank you. And in the previous line, so in the third line that you can see, I would say that there was a stop in that, after that, then after certain, I would say there was another stop there. And then I would say that after also was another stop. And yes, that would be it. So in the second paragraph, Karen Rojas, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. Could you tell me what you have for the second paragraph?
After honored,
Okay.
and then after together,
Yes. Perfect. What else?
after Sadyarthi,
The name, the name. Okay.
yes,
Okay. Where else?
after right, children's right,
Yes. Perfect.
and then
Okay.
after time.
Long time. Great. Thank you. Now, um, who else can continue? Joanna, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah. Great. Would you mind telling me the following lines? What you have?
I am not sure, but
That's fine. We will check them.
I think that after long, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. That's correct. Actually. Okay. No. We will check. So don't worry. Continue. So after long, you
Um,
said? Yes.
yes, I think that alive after alive have been alive.
Yes. Perfect.
I'm not sure.
Yes. What else?
Maybe after that. Um,
Before we, right?
yes.
Here? Yes. Okay.
Mm, after together
Mm-hmm. Great. And one more.
and after the other. No, I don't know. The war. The war.
After work?
See.
Yes. And but which work? This one. Here?
Mm,
Or
I
or the
or no,
previous
no, no,
work?
no, no, I don't think. I think that after together, maybe the other together.
Okay. Okay. We can erase that. Okay. So after together.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Margaret, would you mind finishing the activity?
Yeah.
Perfect.
After world,
Okay, great. Where else?
then Pakistani,
Uh-huh, great.
then I thought she said like they and then can, but
So
I don't know that
first
words
in day,
separate. Yeah.
first in day, so here, and then after can or after what?
No, work after work.
Okay, okay, after work. And anything else?
After right, at the end.
At
Sorry.
the end, okay. Yes. So there's a stop there. Thank you, Margaret. So, okay, I would say that you did overall a good activity. It was correct. Some some of you maybe skipped some stops that the speaker made, but here are the real answers. So I will play the audio again, and you can try to listen where the stop happened, and you can try to see if you can notice those stops. Okay, so here we go.
I'm proud, well, in fact, I'm very proud to be the first Pashtun the first Pakistani and the youngest person to receive this award. Along with that, I'm pretty certain that I'm also the first recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize who still fights with her younger brothers. I want there to be peace everywhere, but my brothers and I are still working on that. I'm also honored to receive this award together with Kailash Satyarthi, who has been a champion for children's rights for a long time, twice as long, in fact, than I have been alive. I'm proud that we can work together. We can work together and show the world that an Indian and a Pakistani, they can work together and achieve their goals of children's rights.
Okay. Did you have those answers? What do you think? Was it difficult? Yes, no, a little bit.
I think that we only have to write down our answers and pay attention to the audio.
Yes, right. I think as we have mentioned before, this gets better with practice. Now, it's not really complicated, but you need to pay a lot of attention so you can identify where the speaker is making the pauses. So let's move into tonicity. So we will do a review. We will talk again about tonicity, but I'm sure you already more or less know what tonicity is. Now, I know that some of you are still struggling. Some of you put in contact with me, but let's try to pay attention so we can solve all of the doubts that you may have. So, tonicity. So we have the tone unit, right? Also known as intonational phrase, speech unit, or tone group. And it is the basic unit of intonation, sorry. Now, it is commonly found in a bigger size than the syllable. Now, each tone unit, and this is really important, has to have one tonic syllable. So all tone units or all intonational phrases or speech units or tone groups, as you would like to call it, they all have a tonic syllable. And within each tone unit, we can find the four components that we already know, that are the prehead, the head, the tonic syllable, and the tail. Now, let's move into the tonic syllable. And a tonic syllable or nucleus is the most important syllable in a tone unit, right? It is the syllable that carries the most important stress of that unit. Now, in English, there can only be one tonic syllable per tone unit. And this is an important thing to remember. The tonic syllable is it is a syllable, just a syllable, right? Because the last class when we practiced, I made you highlight all the word, the complete word, but now we will practice with just highlighting the syllable. Okay. So that being said, an important distinction here is to understand that the tonic syllable, while being the most important stress, it is not necessarily the most prominent. So it is the most important stress, and the syllable is the most important stress, but it will not necessarily be the loudest or the most prominent one. Okay? Any questions so far with the tonic syllable? Yes, no? Answers?
A question.
Yes? Fanny, you said something?
How do we know
Yes.
which is I mean, because we are like studying in a whole sentence. So
Mm-hmm.
how do we know that one let's say it is the nucleus because it
Okay,
is
so how to
the
identify the
most
tonic
next.
syllable?
Yes.
So it is commonly the last content word in the sentence. Okay, that's important. And then you will notice it because it is stressed, but it can be a bit confusing sometimes because we tend to highlight or to identify as the tonic syllable the word that the speaker stressed the most, right? It happened to me at first as well that if I'm, for instance, let's read this sentence. It says in a little less than an hour, I think. So the tonic syllable in this case would be hour, only one syllable, so hour, the complete word. But it will depend on the way that the speaker pronounce these words, because or this sentence. Because what if I pronounce it in a little less than an hour? I think so. It can be kind of confusing if the speaker highlights more one word or the other. But generally, the tonic syllable will be found as the last content word in the sentence. Now, it is important also to remember that first we did tonality, and in order for us to continue with tonicity, which is this. So we segmented the speech for in order for us to then find all these components. Now, just remember, Fanny, that usually it will be found as the last content word. Now, when you spot the last content word, try to identify if there is a change in the pitch or in the way that the speaker is pronouncing that word. Is it clear, Fanny? Yes or no?
Yes, but there is no like as we saw with this. For example, when we have a W question, we
Oh,
know that
like
it
with
will.
tone, like a specific
Yes,
rule. No, I
like we.
think I. Sorry, continue.
I was going to say like with this specific part of a speech or something, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, I would say there isn't. But I think that the best way that you could try to identify it is by trying to spot the last content word. Now, it this maybe this doesn't have any specific rule, like in tone, as you were saying that, for instance, some of fall or rise, or it will depend on the type of if whether it is a WH question or a command or a statement. It will depend. But in this case, I would say that you should just focus on the last content word and try to listen if the speaker is um, if if you can find the stress in that word. Because if you read that, for instance, you find the last content word, but you don't think that the word is stressed at all, maybe that is not the tonic syllable, maybe. But I think this will get a lot easier as we practice. And it's not like there is a specific rule that I could tell you to spot it easier. So I'm sorry, I don't think there is. But try to focus on the last content word. I think that would make it a lot easier. And yes, anyone else, sorry, that has any question? Do you have any questions besides that before we move into the head? No? Okay. Okay. So I will take the silence as that you are understanding. Let's move into the head. So a head is all that part of an intonation phrase that extends from the first stressed syllable up to the nucleus, but not including the nucleus. So in other words, everything that comes before the nucleus, but it has to start with a stressed syllable. So when you are reading the sentence or the IP and you find, okay, so this word is stressed, here is where the head starts, right? I think this one is clearer than the tonic syllable or the nucleus. I think it's clearer because it's maybe easier to identify. It's like there is a rule for this one. you need to spot the stress syllable, and then you will say, okay, the first stress syllable, sorry, and then you say, okay, here's where the head starts. Any questions for the head? So here we have examples. So let me put the pointer. We have those. Those is the nucleus because it is a stress syllable. It is where the stress syllable is. Then we have give me those. The nucleus will continue being those, and give me is a stressed. Give me is a stressed word. It has a stress syllable, right? Give, sorry. So you will notice that the stress here in this example can be seen as a mark right before the word. So as give is stressed, we already know that that is where the head starts. Now, in this case, we have Billy called to give me those. We know that Billy is also stressed. Called is also stressed. Give is also stressed. So everything from Billy to me, or to the word right before the nucleus, would be the head. And lastly, we have in an hour. So we already know that hour is the nucleus because it is a stress syllable, hour. And then we have in an, and none of those two words are stressed. They are function words. They are not stressed. So we can say that there is no head here. Is it clear? Is the head clear? Can you tell me?
Yes.
Yes? Great. Good. Thank you. Now, the prehead. So the prehead is composed of all the unstressed syllables in an intonation phrase preceding the first stressed syllable. In other words, everything that comes before the head would be counted as a prehead only if those words are not stressed. So when we first when we first find the nucleus and we move into the head, finding the first stressed syllable, everything remaining before the head will be always the prehead. Now, there are two scenarios in which we can find the head. With the nucleus, like in this case, or without the nucleus. That can happen too. So in the first example, we have in an hour. We have seen this example before. So the nucleus would be hour, and then we don't have any stressed syllables before hour, right? So everything that comes before the nucleus would be the prehead, and commonly found as function words. So in an, function words are not stressed, so you can say, okay, function words, here is where I start with the prehead. Then we have the example as we have seen before with the head. So we spot first the nucleus, which is hour, and then we go and try to find the first stressed syllable, and we say, okay, the first stressed syllable in this sentence would be little, and then we say, okay, this is where the head starts, and everything remaining before that, if it is unstressed, will be the prehead. Sorry. So is it clear for the prehead? Yes? No? Do I need to explain it again?
Um,
Fanny?
could you give us another example, please?
Okay, so let's do it together. Let's think of a, a sentence, and just, do you need an example with or without the head? So an example to find the prehead, Fanny?
Yes, I mean with all the components, like another sentence, and try to find the prehead, the head, and the nucleus.
Okay, so well, we will do that. We will practice that in the next couple of minutes. But let's think of a simple sentence. Let's say in my university. In my university, what would be the nucleus there? In my university, what do you think?
University.
Right? Yes. And before that, in my, do we have a head?
Could be my.
What part of a speech is my? Any idea? Anyone?
Is a
Is
possessive.
it a function or a content word? Okay, let me think of another example. Let me try to think of another example. Anyone else that can give us an example? Any good soul that would like to give us an example? Nope. Okay, maybe Fanny, maybe we can wait until we practice and we can use those examples. Is it okay?
Yes, no problem.
Yes, because I'm honestly, I cannot think of any example now. So I would be lying to you, but let's continue with the tail now, and then we will move into the examples. So here we have the tail. Now, everything after the nucleus would be the tail. So in this slide, it says without including it, and let me kind of erase that. So this will depend. So this, don't take this into account. So this will depend, because if the nucleus is just a one-syllable word, then everything after that would be the tail. As in the example, look. How many syllables does look have? Can you tell me? How many syllables?
1.
Yes, thank you, Camila. So it has one syllable. So the stress would be in the only syllable that look has. So everything after that would be the tail. Is it clear? Now, this will change depending on where the stress is placed. So it would just depend on how many syllables the nucleus has. Yes, so it will depend on that. Now, the tail is everything that comes after the stress syllable or the nucleus. So let's move into the tonicity practice that I had. Now, let's use the first example so we can try to explain it better. So we have the water is too cold, right? Now, Fanny, would you mind telling me which one would you say is the nucleus? So listen, the water is too cold. The water is too cold.
Cold.
Yes, yes, I would say cold is a nucleus. And how many syllables does it have? It has
1.
Yes, it has one. So everything there would be the nucleus, and we don't have any tail. Now, where is the first stress syllable in here? Which one? So what is a content or a function word?
I would say the function.
Right. So this is not a function. Yes. So this is not stressed. Now, water. Is water a function or a content word?
A content word.
Yes. Right. Perfect. So we already know that here is where I know that I'm not pointing where I should be pointing, but water should be where the head starts. So we already know that cold is the nucleus, and so we cannot include cold in the head because there are two different things. But here, because cold has only one syllable, sorry. But we have that the first stress syllable in the other words is from the word water. So, okay, this we already know that this is where the head starts. And everything that remains would be the pre-head in this case. Okay, is it clearer, Fanny? What do you think? Yes, no, a little bit. I think,
Yes, but
yes, you don't sound really sure. You don't really
that of
sound sure.
content and function word.
Well, that actually, I think that you studied that in analysis, maybe. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't really remember. But I know that these content and function words are not like it often happens that we are not really aware of them, and we just know that which parts of the speech they are, but we don't really know which ones are function and which ones are content words. But I think that after you identify which ones are content and which ones are function words, it will be a lot easier. Now, you can search that funny on internet or anyone else, because I'm sure you're not the only one that it's kind of tricky to identify the content and function words. But you can search that on the internet and you'll find lists of content and function words. So it will be a lot easier for you to do this practice. So, Professor Bruno, yes?
Just a piece of advice. When I learned this as a student, there are four classes of words that are considered content words. So if it's a noun, an adjective, an adverb, or a verb, they are considered, yes, they are considered content words. All the rest is a function word. So try to remember only the content words, and the rest will fall into the other category.
Great advice, right? Yes, it will make it a lot easier. So thank you, Professor. So when you identify all those four categories, it will be a lot easier for you to identify which ones are um, maybe stressed or they are not. So try to do that now.
Miss,
Yes, Margaret?
it was an adverb, noun, adjective, and what
And
was the
verb.
other? Verb.
Verb.
Thank
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna write them. So maybe it's easier for you, or maybe I'm gonna write like the first two letters because I haven't still got any better with this. So an adverb. Okay, so you will have to do the following sentences. In the meanwhile, I'm writing this. Adjectives, nouns, and verbs. Okay, great. Is it clear there, or yes, no? In the
Yes.
screen? Yes, perfect. So now that you know this, maybe it will be a lot easier for you to identify this. So we know that we need to find here all the components, which are the prehead, the head, the tonic syllable or nucleus, and the tail. And in some of the cases, you will not find a head, or maybe you will not find a tail. It will depend. So I will read the sentences first, and then I will ask you to read them. So I'm sure that you kind of understand. So the first one we did together. So let's not count that one. So we would have 5 left. So I haven't been here before. I haven't been here before. Okay, that would be the first one. I haven't been here before. After that, we would say that's it. Sorry, they said it's too late. They said it's too late. That's kind of difficult even for me. They said it's too late. They said it's too late. Okay, next one. Can we have blue cheese too? Can we have blue cheese too? Next one. I don't want to. I don't want to. And the last one. She called me yesterday. She called me yesterday. Now, do you think they're clear? Do you need me to repeat one of them, all of them? What do you think before you start working on them? Any one that you would like me to repeat, or you think you're ready? Any answers?
I think that we can do it.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. Thank you for answering. So you will have around 10 minutes. Yes, it's 5:47. So at 5:57, we will check this together, okay? So you can start now. Guys, are you there? Are you there?
Yes.
Yes or no? A
Yes.
lot of you left, but well, thank you for the ones that stayed. Okay, so um, it doesn't really matter if you're not finished yet because we will go on a short break. So, can you be back at 6 past 6, so we can come back and check this, so you can have more time to finish if you haven't, or to check your answers, or to just disconnect for a couple of minutes. So in 10 minutes, please be back. Okay.
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 Thank you.